Katrina's Creations. This is episode 139. If you are a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back each week. If you're a new viewer, thank you for stopping by. And if you haven't already, please click the little red subscription button down below. And if you click the little bell icon next to it, that will let you know anytime I post a video, which is always on Saturday and usually on Wednesday and sometimes other times during the week, but definitely Saturday and usually Wednesday. So let's get started. Normally my podcast is all happy and cheery and everything. However, I do have a serious topic to discuss at the end of the video. So if you're interested, just stick to the end of the video and then I'll explain what's going on. But let's get started with the fun stuff first. I have a whole bunch of finished objects. I have, Yoka had posted over on her blog spot, and I will put the information to get to her blog down here. She had posted some pot holders a while back, and I really liked them. They are from a website called Made by Seam, and she does a tutorial, which is a good thing because that's how I learn best. Rather than reading, I do better by watching people. So I bought some yarn this week, which if you saw my haul from Consumer Crafts, you will have seen the yarn already, but I started crocheting with it. And so far I have 3 pot holders. I have enough to make a whole hoard of pot holders. But here is the first one. Get it close so you can see it. It's a very easy pattern, but I like the way it looks. It's so pretty. And it's nice and thick. I held 2 worsted weight yarns together to get a bulky weight. And this is 100% cotton from Lily Sugar and Cream. So there's that one. And then this one, it looks like it's black, but it's not. It's actually a real deep navy blue, but it looks black in the photos. There you can see a little bit of the blue, but it is a very deep navy blue. But there it is there. And then I made a third one with a little bit of both colors in it. So I'm real pleasantly surprised with that. It didn't even mess up, which is really shocking for me. But really excited with that. So that is finished projects number 1, 2, and 3. And I can make one of these in about an hour. So they're coming along pretty quick. And like I said, I've got enough of that yarn to make a whole bunch more. So they might become some Christmas presents as well. And I'll explain how I ended up with so much yarn when I get to the acquisitions. The other thing I finished this week was my diamond art. And you can see some of the sparklies on there. Yeah, there you can see them sparkling. So I finished this up. This was a lot of fun. It is basically sticking little diamonds to they give you these little keys here that tell you which color to put wherever the symbol is. And so you just follow the symbols. It's like paint by number without the mess, unless you spilled the beads, which I did at one point. And my floor was very sparkly, but you know, a girl likes her glitz anyway, but not on my kitchen floor. But anyway, there it is. And this was called Rainbow Tree. It's going up in my craft cave when I finish. I love fall colors. And so, yeah. I know the purple, this is purple, not blue, but I know that's not a fall color, but I just thought it was pretty. So that's going up in the craft cave when I can hobble up the stairs to get up there. So that's finished object number 2. Then we have, and some of you spotted I was wearing this in one of the videos this week. I finished this sweater, and I had the beading done at the neck, which I showed you last week, I believe. And I had finished both sleeves. Now, when I put this on, it was too short. It was like micro cropped. Katrina does not wear cropped shirts. It's not an attractive look for me. So I had enough yarn that I was able to put on 4 rows of double crochet right here. This is where it originally ended. So I was able to get 4 more rows out of it. And it does work okay. This is actually way too big for me, but It's got almost like 4 or 5 inches of positive ease on each side, but it is comfortable, so I'm not going to like rip it out and redo it or anything. I did order some more of the dark teal color right here. And so when that comes in, I am going to just continue to crochet and make around the edges and make this definitely longer. But I wore this to church on Sunday, so I'm actually going to insert a little video of me modeling it so you can see what it looks like on. And you'll see in the pictures that it works. I mean, it's still kind of short, but it works okay, but I feel comfortable with it a little bit longer, so that's a project to be finished once the yarn comes in. So I'm going to stick that footage in real quick. It is Sunday and I'm wearing my sweater, so I wanted to model this for you. I just wanted to show you something really quick. So you can see how the neckline falls and you can see the beading along here. But my husband gave me this necklace. My birthday is in November, so my birthstone is a topaz. Sometimes I like the blue, sometimes I like the brown topaz. But this one is a blue topaz that he gave me for Mother's Day. It like perfectly matches this sweater. So this was what I wore to church today, and I'm going to get up and model it so you can see how the rest of the sweater looks on me. I'm filming in my kitchen because I can't go up and down the stairs, so the lighting isn't the greatest. But you can see this is my waist right about here, so it's just slightly below my waist, but as you can see it is a little too wide. Fits fine here, but here it's a little bit too wide, and it could have been a little bit longer. But I'm happy with how it turned out. Now on to my works in progress. This week I'll start with the crocheted. Normally I start with the knitted, but we'll start with the crocheted. So I have been working on my blanket, and you can see here is where I was last week. So I've done 7 rows since last week. And this is all that's left of this particular ball of yarn. But then I took all of my remaining little mini skeins and things that I had hanging around, and I have 1, 2, 3, and 4 balls of yarn. These are all wrapped, like I said, from my mini skeins. They're all tied and ready to go. So whenever I'm just going to keep going till I run out of them, and hopefully the blanket will be the right size at that point. If not, then I'm going to have to stop until I can get more bits and pieces to finish, to get it to the length I want it to. But that's what I've been doing with my blanket project. Then I've been working on my design wrap. If you remember last week, I ripped out a whole bunch of it because I really didn't like the way it, I liked the way it looked, but I didn't like the way it was going to work for the edges, sort of. Yeah. Anyway, but here it is. This is what I've done this week. So I had ripped back to, I think it was right in here. So I've added a few rows here. And I like the edging before was kind of ruffled along the edge here. And that's what was presenting the problem because the wings of the wrap are going to go out from this side. And so I needed a straight edge to do that properly. So there it is. So that is my 2 crochet projects that I have going on. Then I'll get into my knitting projects. This is my Swedish Lines shawl. And I've done a couple sections. I haven't done as much on it this week. You can see I was right here. So I've done almost 20 rows because it's 10 rows in between here, and then there's 4 rows here, and then I've done I think 7 or 8 here. So a little over 20 rows. There are supposed to be 10 to 11 of these little gray stripes before you move to the next section. So right now I have 8. So I have 2 more sections to go. Well, yeah, 8. Yes, I have 8. I thought I had 7. I have 8, so I only have the 9th and the 10th one to put in yet. And then I will start with the next section of this. And it's very squishy because for the most part it's garter stitch. So when I block this, it is really going to stretch out because garter stitch is very squishable. So yeah, that is it. And I've actually gone through my entire first skein of the white color yarn. So I'm on my second skein for that. And then because you just can't have enough projects to do, I decided that since I've made a sweater in the blue, and I've also made one very similar in gray, which you guys have seen before with the black beads around the neck, I am doing another one in tangerine. This is like the variegated blue and the variegated gray, and it's showing up pretty true to color. It's a little bit brighter than what it's showing. And then this is going with it. So, and the funny thing is the last two knit crates that I've received have had this color in them. So when I finish this sweater, I'll be able to kind of accent it with some of the yarns from the knit crate boxes. So those are the two colors I'm using. And this sweater I'm doing a little bit different. If you remember, I made what's called a flax light. It's by Tin Can Knits. It is a free pattern. And I made a gold colored sweater in the wintertime. It's knit from the top down. And those of you who remember some of my knitting faux pas, I did the sleeves wrong and knitted them entirely in garter. The original pattern is supposed to have a garter strip that just runs down the center of each sleeve, which I don't really care for. So I'm actually now knitting the flax version. The flax light was a fingering weight. The flax sweater is a worsted weight. It's the same pattern, just different weight of yarn. So because this is more of a worsted weight, and because it's knit from the top down, the beads, and I do have beads for this one too, are the first thing that goes in. And it's knit raglan style, which means that the sleeves are incorporated. You start from the neck, you knit the neck down, and the yoke comes across the sleeves actually form from increased stitches that run down the sides like this. So my beading is actually running in this yoke section, just stopping about an inch short of where the increase rows are. And I'm only going to carry it down part way. I'm not carrying the beads all the way down because that would look really strange, if you know what I mean. So let me show you what I've gotten so far. This is the neckline. And there are the beads. And here you can see it runs right down here. That's where the increases are. So I'm real happy with this so far. And the little progress keeper I am using on this is a little teapot. It came with a progress bag that I won from the Yarn and You Girl. And so it's cute because you guys know I like tea. So those are my works in progress. Now you guys have been very busy this week as well. So let's take a look at what you guys got out there. Now it's time for acquisitions, and I do have a bunch. So first off this week, I got my consumer crafts in. And the two things I got from Consumer Crafts were it was supposed to have been 6 balls of yarn. 3 of the yellow, 3 of the navy blue. And again, this one is Darice cotton yarn. I said Lily's and sugar and cream, but it's not. This is Darice cotton yarn, and this one is Lily sugar and cream. And this is called bright navy, although I'm not sure where they get bright because it's really, really dark. But anyway, I was supposed to have 3 balls of each because I knew I was going to have to hold 2 of the strands together to get a bulky weight yarn because these are worsted weight. They messed up the order and only sent me 1 ball of the blue. I had all of the yellow, but they only sent me 1 ball of the blue. So I left an email. It was over the weekend. I left an email, and then I didn't hear anything Monday morning or over the weekend, so I called them, and I talked to the lady, and she's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, we'll get one right out to you." Then in the process of all this, I'd no sooner gotten off the phone, and I checked my email, and they had responded to my question saying I missed some of the yarn, and they said, "Oh, we'll get it right out to you." And so I notified them right back again and said, I already talked to somebody on the phone. It's already being sent. Don't worry about it. Well, somehow or other, it got crossed. I received my yarn from the phone call in 2 days. They sent it, I believe, by FedEx or USPS. So I got it like 2 days later. It showed up at the door. And I thought that was the end of it. And then today, which is Friday, we had a package again and 2 more balls of yarn. I've now got 5 balls of navy blue yarn. That's why I'm saying I'm going to be making pot holders like forever, I think, at this point. But they're going to be going, I think, for Christmas presents because. Anyway, that's what I'm going to be doing because I have more than enough dishcloths, so I don't need any of those. I made a whole bunch of dishcloths last year. So I think they're going to become pot holders, and I will just pass them out to family members as door prizes for Christmas or something like that. So that was my first acquisition. Then Knit Crate had offered a sale at the end of the month. They always put their yarns that they've had for the month on sale, as well as other ones that they've got, and they give you like a 60% discount. So this was another video that went up at the same time as the Consumer Crafts. This is from Knit Crate, and this was called Titmouse, and the colors are showing up just about perfect for what it really is. And this is a gorgeous yarn. It is one of their like ultra luxury yarns. It is a 75% merino wool, 15% silk, and 10% cashmere. And it's a fingering weight, and there are 400 yards in it. So I have one other skein of this. So I now have 800 skeins, or 800 skeins. I now have 800 yards of this, which means I can do something a little more substantial. Otherwise, 400 yards, what were you going to do? And I was talking to, I believe it was Pam Phillips. I think that was Pam Phillips, said that, or Tina, I forget which. One of the two of you had said you ordered a second skein too for the same reason that, 400 yards kind of limits you in what you can do, other than a hat or a pair of socks. And who wants to spend that much money and stick this on your feet? So, yeah. All of us that were able to went and got a second skein of this so that we could do something fun. So that was my other purchase. And then I became an affiliate for Ice Yarns. So of course I wanted to order something from them just to see what their customer service was like and to see what their quality of yarns were like. So they got really good deals over there. And I bought 8 skeins of this. This is called Favorite, and the color, I believe, is burgundy. They have a red, a deep red, and a burgundy. I think this was the burgundy. I'm almost positive. But it's really pretty. It kind of is a ruby red. And there are 100 grams in this, 210 meters, which is 237 yards. And there's 8 skeins of this. So I have a sweater's quantity. And somebody asked me, How do I know how much yarn for a sweater's quantity? Just because I've made numerous sweaters and knowing my size, I know roughly how many yards to knit a sweater it's going to take. Now crocheting, I couldn't tell you because I haven't been crocheting enough to, or made enough garments to give you an average of how much there. So maybe once I get more experienced with crocheting, I'll be able to answer that one. But knitting, I know pretty much within about 100 yards or so, depending on the pattern. The more of a pattern there is in a garment that you're knitting, the more yarn it's going to use. So if you're putting lots of cables, you're going to use more yarn than if you just knit stockinette. So, you know, it's kind of an approximate. So I know pretty much what I need in order to get a sweater out of it. So I got 8 skeins of that, and then I got 2 skeins of this. And this is, I love the way they package it. It's like, I hate to take it apart. It's so cute. But yeah, it is 50% cotton, 50% acrylic. It's very, very soft. And it's just, it starts out with like a brilliant white, and then this, you can't see it real well, but this is like an off-white, and then here's a little bit like a tan, and then here's a little darker, almost like a milk chocolate tan here. So, and I have 2 skeins of this exact thing, so we got that. So those were my acquisitions this week. It's been a busy week for me. Now it's time for in our come and get it section this week, Annie's has over in their clearance section Barocco Comfort DK and Deborah Norville Serenity Sock for $2.79. That's in the clearance section. Also in the clearance section, they have a lot of King Cole yarns. So that is a good thing to check out. If you watch Bag O Day Crochet, she did a review of some King Cole yarns a while back. And so anyway, those are available over in the clearance section at Annie's. Over in Bluprint, which is the old Craftsy, in their clearance section, they have Lion brand crochet hooks on sale for $1.38 each. They also have Bernat satin yarn for $1.92, and this one's a really good deal. They have Sprightly acrylic worsted, which I've bought numerous times from them. It normally runs like, I think it's over $3, almost $4 a skein, I think. They've got it on sale for $1.98. It's like a premium acrylic. It is 100% acrylic, but it is a nice acrylic. So anyway, that is over in Bluprint. Consumer Crafts is offering free shipping on $49 or more. They also are offering a special deal. I don't know how long it's going to last, but if you spend $40, you get $10 off. So that's a really good sale right there. You do need to use the coupon code SAVE1019 in order to get that discount. So that is Consumer Crafts. Create for Less is offering free shipping on $50 or more, and they are running a sale right now on Made in the USA sale. So they're selling products that are made in the USA because it's coming up on July 4th. They are offering sale items on that, and they're also having a red, white, and blue sale. So items that are red, white, and blue are on sale right now. You just click on the link. Once it takes you to the page, you'll see it. Just click on that. It'll show you what is being offered for those sales. Hobium Yarn is offering 25% off of their Stars of the Month for June. And Bag O Day Crochet also did a review this week on Hobium Yarn as well. And she ordered quite a bit from their clearance section and their clearance yarns. And so those are worth checking out. Ice Yarn, I went over, they have a closeout yarn section where you buy whole bundles of yarn at a really cheap price. I saw one particular yarn that was called Shrimp Wool. I'm not sure why, but it was called Shrimp Wool. And you got 6 skeins for $1.99. I mean, not $1.99 per skein. It was all 6 skeins for $1.99. So anyway, over at Ice Yarns, like I said, you can get bundles of yarn really cheap. They also have a garage sale section, which also has cheap yarns. You do need to look, watch the shipping is going to be more than if you were shipping within your own country, because this yarn does come from Turkey, just like Hobium Yarn does. But the yarn is so cheap that even when you figure in the price of the shipping, at least for the U.S., I mean, I can't speak for other countries, but I know at least for the U.S., even figuring in the cost of the shipping, it's still a really good deal and still cheaper than what I could buy someplace locally around here. So Knit Crate offers you 20% off your first subscription box. You do need to use the coupon code KCreations20, and that also gives you access to their yarns, like what I was showing you earlier, this at the end of the month, whatever they've got left over. And it also gives you stash points, which you can then use as cash and discount items you buy even cheaper. So Knit Picks, they are offering 20% off their Knit Picks exclusive tools. Now this sale ends July 1st. So you're watching this, if you're watching on Saturday, it is June 29th. So you've only got like 2 days. I will be updating and doing a short little segment on sales on July 1st on Monday, simply because so many of these sales change. Knit Picks is one of them, where they pick a yarn of the month and they advertise it for 20% off, but they don't announce it until the beginning of the month. So I don't want to tell you like a sale and then have it go away immediately. So on Monday, once all the new sales come out, I will update you on any new sales that are available. But I know there will be new sales through Knit Picks. Leisure Arts is offering free shipping on sales over $35. Lion Brand, again, I don't know how long the two sales are running over on Lion Brand, but the first sale is they're offering 45% off site-wide, which is really, really good. You do need to use the coupon code site-wide45, site-wide45, in order to get that 45% off. They also are still offering the 5 skeins for $10 offer. If you click through the link down below, when the site pops up, it's right along the top in gray, and just click on that little banner and that will take you over, because the sale is only on certain specific yarns, and because the sale's been running for a week or two, I don't know what's in stock anymore and available or not. So again, that is still running, but you do need to check out, make sure you get the right yarns that are running on sale. But it's 5 skeins for $10. So that comes out $2 a skein, which is really good. So those are the sales for this week. Now, if you've stuck around till the end of the podcast to hear what the serious note is, we're getting to that point now. I usually try to keep politics out of this. This is a knitting and crocheting podcast. But something happened this week that I found really, really disturbing. It's nothing any of you guys did, so don't worry. But if you've been following the news, it was all over the news concerning Ravelry. On June 23rd, I'm going to explain what happened and why I am upset over what happened. And I actually typed all this up so I could make sure I had everything worded properly of how I want it to come out. So on June 23rd, Ravelry issued a statement which can be read on their homepage. Apparently, some militant supporters of President Trump were bullying other subscribers and making inappropriate comments. This behavior was wrong and understandably should have been stopped. Ravelry, however, responded by lumping all Trump supporters into the same boat as the offenders and banned any future comments, pictures, or projects promoting President Trump. You're allowed to stay as a member, but you can't share your opinion if it differs from theirs. No other affiliations politically were banned, only those involving Trump were singled out. Had they just gone straight across the board and said no political comments or posts of any kind, it wouldn't have been a big issue. It would have nipped the problem in the bud, but they didn't. They singled out a group, and yet they're calling themselves inclusive. They then went on further to instruct subscribers to flag any comments, pictures, or projects that promoted the president. This was upsetting enough because it was encouraging members to become the posting police. But the last straw that upset me more than anything else Whether you are a supporter of President Trump or not isn't even the issue. It was what was done and said that is the issue. And this anyone, I would think, would find appalling. They stated, and I'm quoting from their document, support of the Trump administration is undeniably support for white supremacy. What? They just lumped anyone who is a supporter of Trump into a group and labeled, judged, and accused them of being a white supremacist. I was shocked when I read this. Unfortunately, I'm sure that there are white supremacists in every political affiliation. It's not right, but unfortunately they're out there. Their behavior is evil and hateful toward others, but Ravelry has taken an inexcusable behavior of a few and judged and accused thousands of innocent people based on their political affiliation. They call themselves inclusive, but have now excluded anyone who doesn't hold their political beliefs, encouraged members to police others, and made vile accusations towards some of its own members. I am totally shocked, to be honest. I don't agree with white supremacy in any way, shape, or form. People that hold to that are, as I said, evil and hateful people. But don't judge everybody that supports the president on the basis of behavior of a few. And don't condemn those people based on the behavior of a few. Because of this, I cannot be a party to this kind of unfair judgmental hypocrisy. I will be closing my Ravelry account as of July 1st. How will this affect our channel? And it is our channel. It's not just mine. I enjoy with all of you guys having my friends and so how will this affect our channel? It won't. All of the paid for patterns that I had designed are now available over on Etsy. If you would like copies of the free patterns are not over on Etsy because there's listing fees involved to put them out there. However, if you would like a free copy of the pattern, I will put a list of all the patterns that are free down below. Just contact me at KatrinasCreations@yahoo.com and I will send you a PDF download of those patterns. I'm sorry that it's come down to this, but I just wish that everyone would treat each other with the same respect that we wish to be treated. So anyway, thank you for hanging out till the end, and I will see you again on Monday for a short update on the sales, and Wednesday's video will be talking about differences in fiber content. So I hope you have a wonderful week in spite of my sad little news at the end. But thank you for watching and have a good week.